Yo. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you today? You might be watching this tonight, in the morning, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, but that won't matter because you can still hit the like button just real quick. What's going on, Playboy? What's going on? Hit the like button real quick. I'm going to show you guys some stuff today, and I'm going to teach you a couple things that I have been melding on in my mind for a long time, and I've been meaning to teach this. But I didn't have the new Trifold, which is now here. What's up, Playboy? What's up? So now the new Trifold, your ID, your registration, your proof of insurance goes in the slip here. But I would be remiss to tell you that if when you first see a copper, when you see the copper, your phone comes out, right? So we know that. You first see a copper, phone comes out. We're going to make a touchdown position. Now, here's what I do. Where is that? See this right here? When you get your Trifold now it comes where you can put your ID, your registration, proof of insurance right here. It also comes with this nice rubber band. And this rubber band holds this Trifold in place over your visor, right on your visor. That's what you want to put this right up on your visor. And then your arms are going to go into a touchdown position when you got that copper right behind you. When you got the copper behind you, your arms go into a touchdown position. Just like the touchdown poles you see behind me. You see it? Your arms go into a touchdown position because the first thing you do when you see a copper, you start recording. So I opened up my phone, I saw a copper. Oh shoot, he turned around. And because I already got my phone out, I'm not fumbling through the buttons. And now I hit video, switch it around to face me, record, and there it is. And now I'm recording myself always, so that we can see what happened to you with the copper. But your hands have got to go into a touchdown position. So this hand goes over on the seat right there. And then this hand goes up here to grab your Trifold. Now your Trifold should be rubber banded in right there. Now, on the front of this, it says, learn the law, know your rights. On the back of it, though, the very first thing that when you pull this down, copper walks up, and what does the copper say? License, registration, and proof of insurance. I don't even say good day. Nothing. Because my ID, my registration, my proof of insurance is all right there. And then do you see what it says right here? It says everything right here. It says, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I don't answer questions. Don't ask me where I'm coming from, where I'm going, where I have been, if I have been drinking, if I have a gun. I will take no tests, no searches or seizures. Use the address on my ID. I give no additional info. Everything I need to provide by law is in the slip below. That's it right there. Everything goes in this. And now you don't say another word to the copper. Don't talk to the copper. He wants to ask you which way you're heading. It says right there, I'm not going to tell you. You don't want to talk to the copper. And if he says, hey, where are you going? You take the slip, you show your camera right here so the judge can see what you're seeing. And then I give it back to the copper. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to say anything to you. I clearly am indicating I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Everything I need to provide is in the slip below. If you're organized and you have your license, your registration, and your proof of insurance in your glove box, right up here in your visor, then right, it does it for you. You put it all right there. You put everything in the slip right there. You don't got to think. Don't get caught when you get pulled over trying to figure out where your registration, proof of insurance. How many people right now have to open up their phone to get their proof of insurance? Your proof of insurance, your registration, and at least a photocopy of your ID should go in here. Some states, some cops will be real coppers, and they're going to say, give me your real ID. Okay, fine, I'll give it to you. But that doesn't mean I'm going to remove my right to remain silent I'm gonna use all my rights. You can get this on deletelaws.com. Everybody knows deletelaws.com. This is $30. The one print at home is $7, $7 download. And then if you can't afford the $7 download, just contact me or DLZ Clips. We'll send it to you for free. You can go to deletelaws.com with a Z, fill out the inquiry form, and I'll give this to you for free. Listen, if you get one that you buy for $7 or I send it to you for free, it goes into your spam folder for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But this will go into your spam folder when you buy it from the store. So that now, if you want, you can go buy a little slip for the print at home ones. Look, these slips, these are just ID slips that I buy on Amazon, and the factory tapes them on to the product. Now this is industrial tape on this one, but on this one was just double-sided tape that I made the demo for the black and white one in case you wanted to print one at home. But you can get one of these print at home that I give to you for free. You can get a 25-cent slip, glue it on there, double-sided tape on there, and then your ID, proof of insurance, and registration are all in one thing. You do not want to be sifting around in your car trying to find your identification. And then, of course, the first thing you do is you invoke your right to remain silent. Very first thing. And then all the things that he says, if he says, hey, where are you going? Where are you coming from? Don't talk. Point at it. And since I'm in touchdown position, I can now show the judge and jury, where am I going? Here you go, copper. This is where I'm going. I'm not going to answer a single question you have. I'm not going to say where I'm coming, where I'm going, if I've been drinking, if I've been smoking. I'm not going to say if I have any guns. I don't consent to any searches and seizures. I'm not going to have anything to do with you as far as you and I talking. That's why your ID, your proof of insurance, your registration all goes right here. I told you, I just taped that one on there because I didn't have a black and white one. So the ones that come from the factory, you can't just tear them off. It'll rip the page, and you don't want to do that. And this is that indestructible paper. So it you can destroy it, of course, if you destroy it. But if you just get it like this and then you put it back together, it'll pretty much hold up for a really long time. But I want you not to talk. That's why this now, if along the way of the stop, if the copper starts saying something like, hey, you can't film me because you're filming and you're in touchdown position, as you should be. As soon as the coppers pull you over, you should be in touchdown position. You got your trifold up here. I give you a nice thick rubber band. Hey, this nice thick rubber band comes right in the package so that you can put this on your visor immediately. You don't have to put your actual identification in there, but you should put a photocopier of identification, at least in the slip, so you always have something in your car. Always. And then a copy of your registration and your proof of insurance goes in the slip here, right there. And right away, you invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. And then if he says, and you got your touchdown position, he says, hey, you can't film me. Then you flip it open, and right away it says, I have the right to film you. Right there. Our right to film police. So this is where this is the difference maker, so that you don't have to have a back and forth with the piggies. You don't want to have a back and forth with the piggies. And now, because of my buddy P, he really did such a better design than I could have ever done. I mean, that's such a better design, so much better than mine. But now it's really, really clear. And so in the black and white version, I kind of actually like the black and white version a little bit better. I like the grayscale version a little better. But, you know, you guys all have to talk to your friends. I mean, listen, so there's a few factors of the reason why you want to go into touchdown position when the coppers pull you over. The first one is if you don't have any money. If you don't make over $250,000 a year and you don't have just expendable income, then you want to go into touchdown position because you're going to be targeted by the coppers. 100%. If you live in a small town where the cops know you, you want to go into touchdown position right away, always. If you are a person of color, if you're black or brown, you always want to go into touchdown position when you see the coppers. Always go into touchdown position. Always, always. This camera is filming. This camera is filming me. And it's going to film what I show the copper. filming me, showing him my everything I need to provide by law is in the slip below. I no longer need to communicate with this copper. No longer need to. No longer need to. How you guys doing, man? Everybody put OTVO in the chat. Do me a favor, put Overturn Terry versus Ohio. Chevy! What's up, Chevy? Butch the original, Smile Kyle. What is going on with my friends? Roger York. I'm just calling off some names of people who I see in the chat that are, hi, what's going on, Andrew? How is everybody? Do me a favor, put OTVO in the chat. And if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Just take a second and just hit the like button. Just take 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure that you know, we put a lot of work and effort into this so that you guys would be able to have some sort of protection. You have to have something in writing. You know, in Pennsylvania versus Mims, on the Pennsylvania versus Mims, you have to get out of the car for officer safety. You do have to get out of the car. But the spirit of the law is for officer safety. So you could challenge it. And I think I put a little blurb in here. Where I said officer safety is legitimate and weighty. So I give the action. So the action the cop takes is removing you and then removing you from the auto. The law is that you must get out of the car when lawfully stopped. The reason you get out, the spirit of the law is for, see, there's an error right there. That's why I haven't gone to print yet. These ship tomorrow. So if you guys see any errors on the black and white one, then I have to fix it 100%. So if by video you can show that there's no way there's another error there, officer could believe that you are armed and presently dangerous, you can challenge the order, unlawful because it's against the spirit of the law. Challenge the law could get you arrested. But Pennsylvania versus Mims needs to be challenged. It has to be challenged. Pennsylvania versus Mims has got to be challenged. The idea that these pigs can just order us out of the car at a whim has got to be challenged by somebody sooner or later. Because if they pull me over and order me out of the car, and if I can prove by video that there's no way a reasonable human being could believe I'm armed and presently dangerous, then I would be willing to challenge that. But I have to be in that specific situation to have standing to challenge Pennsylvania versus Mims. I don't think cops should be able to order you out of your car just because. I think it's morbid. I think it's twisted. I think it's sick. So it has to be challenged by somebody. So, and then I'm just going to go over it, the whole thing, just little by little bit. There may be errors in here because that's what I'm doing tonight before we ship this off tomorrow to be printed. So tomorrow, if you guys have been waiting on a trifold, they finally come out tomorrow. So I'm really excited that these are finally done. Finally done. Yes. Yes. I don't know how many people are here. I think that YouTube is not telling people that we are doing any videos. I don't think that YouTube is putting the channel out there. I think they're withholding it from streams is what I think is what YouTube is doing. I'm pretty sure because we've seen it. It's pretty sick, but I've watched it happen. What is going on? What is going on? Go to your pillow. Go to your pillow. OTVO, Overturn Terry versus Ohio. So interesting. So interesting. Anyway, listen, I have limited time. I only wanted to come on because I still have to go through an entire breakdown of, yo, Toby, what's going on? That's awesome. That's totally awesome. I don't really care because Las Vegas Metro Police Department is being sued. I'm gonna sue them. And I really want to get I want to go after that guy, Jesse Sandoval's job for his abuse of power and certainly any sort of discretion that a reasonable person would have. It was pretty ridiculous. And so I'm going to go after those guys and I'm going to continue to go after them. And so what I do for protection, y'all, is I have cameras everywhere. I have cameras around me now. I have cameras in my car. I have cameras on me. I mean, people know this about me. I've done this for a long time now, and I've only been public for 1.5 years. But now, I also carry full time, 24/7. I always take precautions for my own safety. That doesn't mean you're being paranoid. It's the same thing about having the trifold in your car. It's not that you can't handle a back and forth with a cop. It's that you don't want to have the back and forth with the cop. You don't want to have it. You don't want to start to have where are you going? Well, I'm going to my sister's house. So where does your sister live? As soon as you answer one question, it becomes another question. Well, I'm going to my sister's house. Well, where does she live? She lives north of here. Where north of here? And now you're not cooperating because you're not answering all the questions I was asking. It goes just like that. Where are you heading? I'm going to my sister's house. Well, where does she live? You don't want to tell the cop where your sister lives. So that's why you immediately, right away, you use the very first front of this and you invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. That's how you do it. You don't talk to cops. Look, I'm an activist. It's my job to go and battle these piggies face to face. You guys saw that I'm willing to be arrested. I've been arrested a couple times now by pigs because it's my job as an activist to go and change the system. That's my real job. And so because I'm so inundated with police and policing and how it works, I can tell you emphatically, without a doubt. As a matter of fact, my friends, the Pop Brothers at Law, they say they have it called shut up. That's how they say it. Shut up. It's shut up Fridays. I can mute myself now because I try not to curse on camera anymore. But you always start filming the moment you see the copper. And then you have to tell your friends, touchdown position. When I see a copper, touchdown position. Touchdown position. When you see a copper, touchdown position. You always want to go into touchdown position, just like that. There it is. Now I'm filming the copper and I can grab my trifold and I can invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent right away. Everything I need to provide by law is in the slip below. It comes with a little plastic slip right there. You put your ID, your registration, proof of insurance in it. You go to deletelaws.com. The indestructible one is $30. The downloadable at home is $7. $7 download. It's a $7 download. But I want you to have it. So if you don't have $7, I'll give it to you for free. Just go to the inquiry form on deletelaws.com. That's with a Z, deletelaws.com with a Z. And I'll send it to you for free if you don't have $7. That's how much I want you to have it. That's how much I want you to have it. For the people who can support by paying $7, great. For the people who can buy an indestructible one for $30, amazing. But you don't have to have any money to participate. I'll give it to you for nothing. I need you to have it in your car and invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. To remain silent. That means you don't talk to the copper. Remaining silent means you don't speak. There's no speaking. No speaking. I'm in touchdown position. Cop comes up. What do you want? Boom. Fifth Amendment. Right there. Everything I need to provide is in the slip below. There it is. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right not to talk. Any questions? And then if he starts asking me a bunch of ridiculous questions, then, you know, if he orders the driver out or the passenger out, or if he says he smells marijuana, you know, and, you know, just so you guys know, the I smell marijuana thing, you know, I actually read the other day the case law, the Supreme Court case, right here. So this is the case of marijuana, where they're talking about whether or not it's in this one right here. Sorry about that. I'll go right here. This was the case of the Commonwealth versus Barr. You see that? Versus Timothy Barr. And this is the appeal from the order of the Superior Court dated September 25th, 2020. And what this does right here, this is now, if you read this, if you start to read this because this was decided on December 29th, 2021, we granted allowance of appeal in this matter to examine what extent, if at all, the smell of marijuana could be considered when determining whether law enforcement has probable cause to conduct a warrantless search of a vehicle. This issue arises in light of the General Assembly's enactment of the Medical Marijuana Act 35P 1023, which legalized the possession and use of marijuana in limited circumstances. And the recent decision of Commonwealth versus Hicks, which addressed whether police can stop and frisk a person merely based on the fact that the person possesses a concealed firearm in public. Like the Superior Court, we hold that the smell of marijuana may be a factor, but not a standard alone one in determining whether the totality of circumstances establish probable cause. So as you may or may not know, that term right here, the totality of circumstances, that's going to come from the 1981 case of 1968, God bless it. Lopez. No, it's not Lopez. God bless America. It'll come to my in a second. So just so you know, totality of circumstances, what you have to know about this is an extension of Terry versus Ohio. This is another case that its entire case is based on Terry versus Ohio. Without, you wouldn't have totality of circumstances case law without Terry versus Ohio. Really, really sad. To permit a police officer to conduct a warrantless search of a vehicle. However, we respectfully disagree with the Superior Court decision to remand the matter to trial court for reconsideration. Its order granting the motion suppressed filed by Timothy Barr, the appellate. So I don't want to get too lost in this, but now let's get into the background, because it's kind of a interesting story. As a result of a vehicle search that we describe in more detail, the Commonwealth discovered a bag of marijuana and a firearm. In connection with these items, the Commonwealth charged appellate Timothy Barr with persons not to possess a firearm, possession of a firearm without a license, and possession of a small amount of marijuana. Appellate subsequently filed an omnibus pretrial motion, which included a motion to suppress the physical evidence gathered by police during the search and a petition for a writ of habeas corpus, contending that the Commonwealth could not establish a prima facie case that appellate possessed a small amount of marijuana or committed the firearms offense. Following a hearing, the trial granted the motion to suppress and granted in part the petition for the writ of habeas corpus, dismissing the count of possession of a small amount of marijuana. The court authored an opinion in support of that order, which included findings of the fact and constructions of the law. Trial Court Opinion 8/2019. In the morning hours of 2018, Pennsylvania State Trooper Edward Prentice was mentoring or coaching newly hired State Trooper Danielle Hembach. Oh, so he's coaching a woman. The troopers were en route in routine patrol in a marked vehicle in Emus Avenue in the area of Liberty Park at Allentown Apartment Complex in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which at approximately 12:30 a.m., Trooper Prince observed a vehicle make a U-turn on Allenbrook Drive and then proceeded east on Emus Avenue. Despite the fact that the trooper did not observe any criminal activity, Trooper Prentice decided to follow the vehicle because no other cars were around. So he just was bored. And the vehicle appeared to be traveling at a fast rate of speed, and it was past midnight. So that's the probable cause. Listen to what the probable cause standard of the cop is. He decided to follow the vehicle because there's no other cars around. The vehicle appeared to be traveling at a fast rate of speed, and it was past midnight. And so that's a reason why you need to be stopped by the government. Incredible. As troopers followed the vehicle, it made a left-hand turn onto Devonshire Roadmack Boulevard. The vehicle was traveling at a high rate of speed, but eventually slowed down as it approached an overpass on which vehicles must pass in opposite directions one at a time. Trooper Prentice and Hembach observed that the vehicle failed to stop on the solid white stop line on the road at the stop sign that controls the single lane overpass, causing the trooper to initiate a stop for this alleged vehicle code violation. The vehicle pulled over as soon as the trooper engaged it. What a load of poop. This went to the Supreme. Incredible to me. This went all the way to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which is just observed the vehicle failed to stop at the solid white stop line on the road at the stop sign that controls the single lane overpass. So you're to believe here that he just stated his statement earlier that there were no cars around. It was past midnight and the car seemed to be moving at a high rate of speed. So put that in perspective. There's nobody around. And so then you're going to not stop at a stop sign. You're not going to stop at a stop sign. Like, how much sense does that BS story make to you? It makes absolutely no sense. It's a lie. Causing the trooper to, because Trooper Prentice was coaching Trooper Hembrock, which, remember, this is a ponytail copper. So this is another ponytail. He's training her, so his ego is up. So he just pulls over a car randomly because he can. Trooper Hembrock, the female, took the lead of the investigating the matter further. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Trooper Hembrock took the lead in investigating the matter further. What was the probable cause? Man, you know, I'll tell you, it was at nighttime. It was the only car around, and he didn't stop at that white solid stop line that controls the single lane interactions. Hembrock needs to investigate. This is our government, that they need to investigate us for everything. You need to be investigated. You need to be investigated. Just such crap. Such crap. By approaching the passenger side of the vehicle, as the trooper got closer to the occupant's vehicle, she smelled burnt marijuana. Appellant's wife, Terry Barr, was driving the vehicle. Appellant was in the passenger seat, and Luis Montiero was in the rear passenger seat, where he observed drifting in and out of sleep, where he was observed. So the passenger was in the rear passenger seat, and he was coming in and out of sleep. So that means, you know, something's afoot for sure. Soon after, Trooper Prentice approached the vehicle on its driver's side. As the trooper began to arrive at the driver's side window, he smelled burnt marijuana through the crack of the vehicle. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? This is everything I talk about. He pulls him over because he's the only car around and he's bored. And now I think I smell marijuana, but there's no crime going on. The guy's just driving. There's no crime. There's no crime. And they talk about how they need to investigate him. And then he has the smell. You know, there's the smell of burnt marijuana around here. There, if you walk anywhere, it's just like, this is our government. They want to investigate us like constantly. It's unbelievable to me. It really is. I just can't believe that this is the life that we've allowed to happen to us. Trooper Prentice then asked Barr to exit the vehicle so he could interview her, and she was not unlawfully under the influence of marijuana. What are you talking about? You're not, it's so ridiculously stupid. Marijuana is not alcohol. You can drive a car just fine. That's so stupid. There's been studies on this. At that point, appellant began to argue with Trooper Hembrock, and she's a newbie, and she's a ponytail. You got a ponytail newbie copper. By repeatedly claiming that no one is getting out of the effing vehicle. I'm with you there. I'm with you there. At that time, officers from the Allen Power Department soon arrived on the scene, causing appellant to become more uncooperative. Yeah, there's more pigs. I don't want to deal with more pigs. Charlie, pillow. Trooper Prentice then advised the occupants of the vehicle that because he smelled marijuana, he could search the vehicle pursuant to the court's decision in Commonwealth versus Gary of 2014, holding that the federal automobile exception to the warrant requirement of the Fourth Amendment applies in Pennsylvania, overruled by Commonwealth versus Alexander in 2020, holding that Article 1, Section 8 of the Pennsylvania Constitution requires both a showing of probable cause and exigent circumstance to justify a warrantless search of an automobile. So, you know, Pennsylvania also doesn't respect Terry versus Ohio. So it's kind of funny how their laws are on the side of the people, but Pennsylvania is one of the biggest police states there is in the country. So when you get to the court, you got to hope that there's a judge that says Article 1, Section 8 of the Pennsylvania Constitution requires both the showing of probable cause and exigent circumstances. So there was no probable cause to even stop him. It didn't exist. So Appellate N-Bar presented Trooper Prentice with a medical marijuana identification card that permitted them to possess and consume medical marijuana pursuant to the Medical Marijuana Association, or whatever that stands for. Notably, at the time of the stop, Trooper Prentice was aware that green leafy marijuana was legal for medicinal purposes, but he was unsure how a patient was permitted to ingest this product for medical purposes. In addition, Trooper Prentice believes that no smell is produced when a patient utilizes a vaping pen to inhale medical marijuana. Trooper Hembach, Ponytail, was unaware that the green leafy marijuana was legal for marijuana purposes. She too was unsure how medical marijuana was ingested. What a crock of shit. What? Okay, do me a favor. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's a crock of shit. That neither Copper A or Hembach, neither one of them knew how medical marijuana was taken. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's BS. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's BS. That's such crap. She, with a straight face, like when she wrote the report, did she sit there or was she going, I don't know how it's taken. I'm not sure how they take medical marijuana. Nobody has a friend that has a medical marijuana card. Nobody. There was never like a phase or a period where there was medical marijuana cards available, but it wasn't available recreationally. That was never available. For even though Hembach is a new little piggy, that she didn't go through that process with everybody else in America, that at one point it was medically legal and then it became recreationally legal. And so everybody would gather to people who had medical marijuana cards so they would go get them some weed. What are we talking about here? Like, what are we? This is so stupid. Like, you don't know how to take weed, huh, Copper? Okay, sure thing. Nonetheless, at that point, the troopers conducted a search of the vehicle, which was supported by probable cause based on the smell of marijuana. Probable cause is the smell. If we smell something, that's probable cause. I smelled something. Cops would never use the smell and associate that with probable cause and abuse that. They would never do that. The cops would put a 1 in the chat if you know that cops would never abuse using a smell as probable cause. They don't abuse dogs as probable cause ever. They never do. So, I mean, during that search, troopers observed non-prosecutorial amounts of marijuana shake, i.e. small flakes of marijuana leaf on the vehicle's floor. Trooper Hembach also discovered a Ziploc bag containing almost a gram of weed. She found the bag between the front passenger seat and the center console. She caught them with the weed. They're terrible people. Take them to the dungeon. The Ziploc plastic bag did not have any markings or barcodes that would identify it as a medical marijuana purchase at a dispensary. As part of the probable cause examination, remember, these people, as part of the probable cause examination, these people have done absolutely nothing wrong. They were simply driving down the road. After midnight, it was dark. That's their probable cause. It was after midnight and it was dark. Oh, man. Dark after midnight and they're in a car? Probable cause investigation necessary. What'd you do, Tina? Her name was Tina Barr. That's the name of the appellate. What'd you do, Tina? What'd you go to jail for? I was driving after midnight and it was dark. Okay. What'd you go to jail for, though? I was driving after midnight and it was dark. They did a probable cause investigation and they found almost a gram of marijuana between the driver's seat and the console. They got you, huh? I'm in jail now. That's our country. That's our country. You're in jail now. What did they caught you with this much weed? Put her in jail. Put her in jail. Jail. Most ridiculous. As part of the probable cause examination when they're driving down the road, Trooper Prentice searched the rear of the vehicle where he discovered a jacket that was rolled up into a ball. that stuck out halfway under the driver's seat. Inside the jacket, the trooper found a handgun with 1 bullet in the chamber and 4 in the magazine. He's got 1 on his side with 14 in the magazine, but hey, Trooper Prentice suspected that the appellate's jacket and advised his fellow officers to detain all 3 occupants, meaning torture cuff them. A subsequent search of the vehicle's trunk uncovered an Apple logo baggie that contained unused clear plastic baggies that were consistent with both general packaging for drug distribution and the particular baggie that contained the marijuana that Trooper Hembrock had found between the front passenger seat and the center console. They got these people. Ruin them now. Burn them. At the suppression hearing, appellate presented the testimony of David Gordon, MD, a retired heart and lung surgeon and an expert in medical marijuana in Pennsylvania. Dr. Gordon sees patients to determine whether they are appropriate candidates for medical marijuana cards. In fact, he was the physician that recommended the appellates met the qualifications to receive medical marijuana card that he presented to the troopers before they searched the vehicle on the night in question. During testimony, Dr. Gordon explained to the trial court that there was no difference between green, leafy medical marijuana and marijuana purchased illegally on the streets. The doctor noted that smoking marijuana is illegal under the MMA. However, he also informed the court that the green, leafy marijuana can be consumed legally by way of a vape pen. Dr. Gordon stated that the vaping marijuana produces an odor and that there's no difference between the odor of legally vape marijuana and illegally vape marijuana. They are literally trying to find the difference between legally smoked vape and illegally smoked vape. Smell in the air. What do you think, Bob? You think that's a legal marijuana they're smoking? Or you think that's illegal marijuana they're smoking? What's the difference? The state gets a big cut of the medical marijuana. So we're going to give you a pass if the coppers don't shoot you, kill you, arrest you, or ruin you. They still might get charged. You still might get charged. And you do got to defend those charges. But, you know, at least you can smoke marijuana, huh? Got a marijuana store. Uh-huh. We're allowing you. You're being allowed. What the hell? What the hell kind of country have we allowed these people to put us in? Let's continue, shall we? Let's continue down this interesting little read here. Regarding the packaging of the medical marijuana, Dr. Gordon explained that it can be sold in a plastic container like a pill bottle with a plastic bag in that contains the medical marijuana. Dr. Gordon shared his belief that the inner bag contains markings that indicate that it was purchased in a medical marijuana dispensary, but he was not certain. So here's the deal. Did they get that at a medical marijuana dispensary? Did the government get his cut or not? That's what that's saying right there. According to Dr. Gordon, at the time of the hearing, there were more than 143,000 patients in Pennsylvania. 143,000 patients. How many patients are here? Anybody a patient? I'm a patient. Is anybody a patient? Anybody a patient? Is anybody a patient? Is anybody a patient? I'm a patient. I can't show you that, but I guess I'm a patient. I'm a patient. Just ridiculous. According to Dr. Gordon, at the time of the hearing, there were more than 143,000 patients in Pennsylvania who could legally obtain, possess, and ingest medical marijuana. He further suggested that there's a clear disconnect between the medical and law enforcement communities with respect to the legalization of medical marijuana. Based upon the findings and fact, the trial court concluded as a matter of law that the troopers lacked probable cause to search the vehicle and therefore that the search was unconstitutional. Consequently, the court held that the evidence seized during the search must be suppressed. In addition, the court dismissed the charge of possession of a small amount of marijuana based on its determination that the Commonwealth had failed to establish prima facie case in support of the charge. After presenting these findings and facts and the conclusions of law, the court offered a recitation of the rationale it employed in reaching these results. In this regard, the trial court stated that it found guidance from this court's recent decision in Hicks. According to the court, Hicks held that a police officer may not infer criminal activity merely from an individual's possession of a concealed firearm in public, because a firearm may lawfully be carried and thus possession alone does not suggest criminal activity. The court opined that the reasoning in Hicks, the spirit of the law, remember what I always say? The court opined that the reasoning in Hicks extended to the instant matters because the plain smell of marijuana alone provides authorities with probable cause to conduct a search of a subject's vehicle because the drug has been legalized in Pennsylvania for medical purposes. Trial court opinion, 2019. In other words, the court explained, the plain smell of burnt or raw marijuana is no longer indicative of an illegal or criminal act. The trial court then stated here that the troopers conducted a search of a vehicle based solely on the odor of marijuana emanating from the vehicle. Yet the court explained, as in Hicks, where the defendants possess a valid license to carry a concealed firearm, appellant has a valid license to possess and ingest medical marijuana. The court highlighted various portions of Dr. Gordon's testimony, including his observation that there is no difference in odor of ingesting medical marijuana when utilizing a vape pen and the odor of smoking regular marijuana from an unlawful source. The court submitted that it is illogical, impractical, and unreasonable for Trooper Prentice and Trooper Hembach to have concluded that there was criminal activity afoot when appellant was able to present them with a valid medical marijuana card, which permitted him to possess and ingest medical marijuana. The trial court reiterated its view that the smell of marijuana is no longer per se indicative of a crime. According to the court, a valid license, an individual is permitted and expected to leave an odor of marijuana emanating from his or her person, clothes, hair, breath, and therefore his or her vehicle. The court shared its opinion that there is a disconnect between the medical marijuana and law enforcement communities, as the General Assembly did not contemplate that people with legal medical marijuana cards would be arrested and prosecuted for possession of marijuana in a package that is not clearly marked with the dispensary name on it. For these reasons, the trial court directed that all evidence seized from the vehicle was illegally obtained and should be suppressed. The Commonwealth appealed the trial's court order to the Superior Court, certifying that an appeal is appropriate because the trial court's order terminates or substantially handicaps the prosecution. So then, in a lengthy opinion, let me just check in with you guys and see what's going on. So, in other words, it's not a crime. It is not a crime. You know, the way you guys can help me is by sharing these videos, because YouTube has the monster suppression on this channel right now. I don't know why, but they do. So it's pretty bad. They're not alerting people. Did anybody get alerted of the live? Yo, what's going on, Auditors of America? Hope you're doing okay, Jeremiah. Hope you're doing okay, man. Hope everything's going all right. I'm deep into keto. I haven't had traditional sugar in a couple weeks now, I guess 10 days. I always like to go a little higher. You know, everybody likes to exaggerate, but then I realize I'm not telling the truth. And so it's been about 10 days. I think about 10 days, 11 days. I'd have to look at my calendar. But first I was doing the fasting, and I was fasting for 24 hours and then eating. And then, you know, if you really want to rev the fat loss, you have to put your body into a state of ketosis. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm definitely into a state of ketosis. All right, guys. Well, listen, I got to get the flock out of here because I got other stuff I got to do. So just a real quick recap. New Trifolds are in. Now your license, registration, and proof of insurance goes in a slip right here. And then you immediately invoke your right to remain silent. Don't ask me where I'm going. Don't ask me where I've been. Don't ask me if I've been drinking. If I have a gun, I'll take no tests, no searches or seizures. Use the address on my ID. I give no additional information. Everything I need to provide is in the slip below by law, right there. Everybody should have this in their car. I'll give it to you for free if you don't have any money. Like, that's how much I care. Like, I really care. I care that you shut the front door. Shut the front door. When the cops come up, You are in a touchdown position and you are filming them like this, just like that, just like this. And then when he walks up, you give him this, you show the camera so that the judge can see later that you invoked your Fifth Amendment right. And you say, there you go, copper. Boom. You don't talk to the copper no more. No more talking to coppers. What's up, Playboy? No more talking to coppers. You don't talk to cops. Don't talk to cops. Don't talk to cops. Touchdown position. Filming here. Trifolds here. Because look, I had to reach down. If you got to reach down for something, bang! Bang, you're dead. You reached down. Hey, you reached. You think it's hyperbole? It's not hyperbole. You don't reach down. Why do you think we put these rubber bands in the package for you? This goes here. Your license, registration, proof, insurance goes here. This goes up on your visor. It's there. Copper pulls you over. Hand goes up. Other hand comes up here, right by the window. Copper comes up. You reach up into your visor, you slip it out of the rubber band. You invoke your Fifth Amendment right, you're filming the copper. Don't be reaching! Don't reach! That's what they're going to say to you. Give you a rubber band, it's so easy. Put it on your visor. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. Don't be stupid. Do not be reaching around your car when you got a pig behind you. This is up on your visor, rubber banded in. You got your license, registration, and proof of insurance here. It's all right there. It's in a slip I provide with it. It goes in a slip. It all goes in a slip. It's already up there. You don't got to reach. What do the coppers say? Don't reach. Don't reach. Don't reach. Touchdown position. Tell your friends. Touchdown position is a trifold and a cell phone recording. That's what touchdown position. That's what that is. I'm showing you the way. See the touchdown behind me? Touchdown! Touchdown! I'm getting pulled over. I get to get this pig on film. And I've invoked my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Everything I have to provide is right there by law. I provided everything. My hands are in a touchdown position. I'm in a touchdown right here. That's where I'm at. Copper can see everything. The cop next to me can see everything. They surround my car like a bunch of wild pigs, but I'm recording them on this phone. And then my trifold's in this hand. I've invoked my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You want me to get out of the car? Okay, I got to get out of the car. I'll get out of the car. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. You don't know if I got a gun on it. I get out. I still shut the front door. Touchdown position. This is where I live. This is where I live, right here, until that dirty pig is out of my life. I'll give it to you for free. I'm doing everything I can. I'm one man. They kicked me off TikTok. They're shadow banning me on YouTube. They don't want you to do what I say. They don't want you to do it. I'm doing everything I can. I've been called a racist. People have made up stories about me. I'm doing everything I can. I still give away my products for free. Come on. Come on. I'm doing everything that God gave me to share with the world and everything I have in my little brain right here. You have to grab the ball and take it. You don't got $7, a $7 download? I'll give it to you for free. Carry it in your car. Know your rights, but you don't have to speak. Cop says he smells marijuana. I just read the case law from Pennsylvania. You could use that exact same argument if they arrest you for marijuana after you show them the case law. Any state that sells medical marijuana or recreationally, police cannot use the odor as probable cause for search or seizure. The smell of weed does not magically create a probable cause standard. Do not consent to searches or seizures based on the copper saying he smells weed. It's right there. Commonwealth versus Barr, 2021. It's in your trifold. And then I just read the entire case to you. If the passenger says get out of the car, they say, hey, passenger, you got to get out of the car. So let me get this nice and straight for you. Don't talk to, so that they say, hey, you're the passenger. They say, give me some ID. There's the case law. Hibble versus 6th District Court of Nevada and United States versus Landeros. Don't talk to the cop. If the cop has probable cause to arrest you, he will. And he'll get your ID at the jail, not in the cop car. Because they might put you in the cop car to say that they're going to arrest you, so they get your ID. Don't fall for it. If they're going to arrest you, they're going to arrest you. In some states, if the cop can articulate reasonable articulable suspicion legitimately and on camera, you identify verbally as good citizen. That would include, obviously, 6th District, Hibble versus 6th Judicial District Court of Nevada. If the cop has reasonable articulable suspicion, so, for example, if you're the passenger in the car and you guys are driving away and there's an alarm going off and you can hear the alarm and he says, hey, there's a robbery over here. I need to see your ID. He has reasonable articulable suspicion that you could have been involved in a robbery. And so according to the case law, you have to show ID. So, you have it here before you now, though. So he has to articulate that single articulable fact. There has to be at least one rock solid criminal fact. There's an alarm going off right next to you. Not there was an alarm here yesterday. Big difference. The circumstances have to be exigent, as you read from the Commonwealth versus Barr, Pennsylvania. So this is and then the cop wants to extend the stop. Cops cannot extend stop without probable cause or reasonable articulable suspicion. Rodriguez versus United States, 2015. So, okay. I want to get this trifold out to as many people as I possibly can. If you can buy it, great. I want your money and I need it. Thank you. I appreciate your support. If you can't buy it, then download. Go to deletelaws.com on inquiry form, fill it out, say I don't got $7, and delete laws clips, or I will send it to you for free. It will go to your spam folder. If you buy a $7 download one, it'll go to your spam folder. If you buy a $7 one, if you buy it from the store, it'll go to your spam folder, and I don't know why, but it always does. So look in your spam folder if you order one of these. Okay, cool. It doesn't come in the mail. All right, listen. I'm going to get out of here before, oh yeah, Ego Checker. I got a call out. Ego Checker is getting harassed by the cops in College Station big time. So I got a call to a guy who's in your space. I'm waiting for him to give me a call back. So I will give you a call shortly. All right, guys, I will get the flock out of here. I'm going to get the flock out of here. I'm deep into ketosis. I'm ketosis. I'm deep into ketosis. I'm deep into ketosis. No, today's only fat and protein. No, I'm not even going to do probiotics or prebiotics today. Just fat and protein today. So that's why I've got some heavy whoop in there. Delicious. All right. Are there any questions? Do we have any questions at all? Gloria, love you too. Good to see you, hon. Greg, how are you? Alan, good to see you. Shock Professor, what's going on? How is everybody? Eyes wide open. What is up? Anytime. Is that Gun-toting Texan? Gun-toting Texan. Got it. Gun-toting. I was going to say. Gun-toting. Michael Poe. Oh, that's a good point. Mr. Chill, I've got some stories from 20 years ago that nobody wants to believe, but now a lot more people believe it. Michael, shoot me an email. Go to deletelaws.com, go to inquiry, and then shoot me an email about your stories. I'd love to hear them. And then everybody can post their torture cuff story. Go to endtorturecuffs.com, END torturecuffs.com. That website is for if you've been abused by the cops and they damaged your wrists or caused neuropathy in your finger and forefinger. Like, so right now my thumb and finger are still halfway numb. So I've full feeling, but then it's just a little bit numb. It's a little weird from the cop abusing me. So if that's happened to you, go to endtorturecuffs.com, and then you can write your story about how they tortured you. There's so many people. There's so many. You guys do me a favor. Support me the most by sharing the video and getting your friends to share the videos, because they have me so shadow banned. It's crazy. It is crazy. I love you guys. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Happy birthday, DLZ Clips. Everybody, it's DLZ Clips' birthday. Happy birthday to DLZ Clips. Hey, happy birthday, DLZ Clips. Happy birthday, brother. Good to see you, man. All right, I'm going to get the flock out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.